All right. Week 3 is upon us, so it calls for another podcast. Here we go. Um, Brief recap of week 2 is upon us, and we're going to start off with the Thursday night game. We had the Vikings losing to the Eagles 28-34. Um, Kirk Cousins, I think he's been all he can be for this team. I think his defense is really letting him down. For especially the first 2 weeks, people are hoping that he loses a third game and gets traded to the Jets. Is that realistic?
Potentially. I would say, it's up there. He's only got a year left on his contract. I think the Vikings are kind of done with him. He's kind of a garbage time stat quarterback. I don't know if he's necessarily great, but he's better than Zach Wilson, so worth a try.
I think, I guess stats aren't everything, but his stats have been maybe better than what, try to word this correctly. Um, his stats are a bit better than what, like you said, garbage time. So like his stats look better than what they really are during the actual game, but based off stats alone, I think he's played pretty well. I think
Yeah, stats wise, he's been solid.
he's always consistent. He's like Jared Goff, Mr. Consistent.
He is consistent.
You know what you're getting on a prime time.
Yup. You know what you're getting from Kurt.
But breakout for that game, most definitely DeAndre Swift. Eagles' offensive line's way too overpowered. They know they're running the ball. It doesn't matter. They're still getting 6 yards of carries, so it's pretty. Is Kelsey hurt?
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't get to end up watching that game too much. I have a feeling they're probably gonna just loosen him in and only utilize him when they have to early on in the season until he's fully healthy.
Yeah, I was watching Pat McAfee podcast today, and I thought I saw on the bottom ticker it was like tore a ligament or something. Looking it up. That's not a good loss. If it is true. Okay, I'm not seeing anything but Taylor Swift when I search Jason Kelsey, so I'm just gonna skew away from that. Move on to the next game. We'll skip this game because we'll talk about here later the Ravens Bengals game. Seahawks Lions, pretty disappointing for the Lions to lose like that in overtime. Everyone's up in flames about blowing a holding call on Agent Hutchinson that ended up losing them the game.
Lions gonna lion.
Yeah, Geno Smith back to what I thought he would have been from the get-go. Played a really good game.
Massive for us.
Yep.
Massive for us.
Over 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Pretty solid for him. Put up a lot of points. Game. Look at the stats real quick. I just want to see. They're not he scored 2 touchdowns, but he's not getting a whole lot of production on the ground. Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
17 for 43. I think
you got to think their 2 starting tackles are out though.
Right. But for them going forward, if they do want to contend and at least compete with the 49ers, they're going to have to get a run game going.
Oh, for sure. You can't be one-dimensional against a team like that.
Moving on, we'll skip this one because it's coming up soon. Colts, Texans. Bears, Buccaneers. Bears, arguably the worst team in the league. They're not the worst team, but they're arguably the worst team. Justin Fields, if you heard what he had to say in his interview, felt robotic. You never want to hear that from your franchise quarterback.
No.
It's not looking good.
Coaches, not great.
He has all the talent and the tools in the world to be successful in this league. I do think a lot of it is coaching, just like it is in Pittsburgh. But he just looks lost, more scared than lost in that pocket.
I just think he's overthinking it. I don't know exactly what to say besides that he can't control himself right now.
He's not running as much as he was last year. That's what separated him from last year and gave him hopes going forward, is his ability to make plays with his feet. So now it looks like he just runs into the linemen and gets sacked.
Yep.
But Buccaneers, another great week for them. Baker coming out hot again. Who would have saw this coming? I don't think many did. He was in competition, not even sold on the job. He's in competition with Kyle Trask, if that tells you anything in the offseason.
You kind of had a little bit of
I
a.
did have a little faith
You did have a little faith. I was completely out.
going into
I
week
still don't
one.
know if they beat good teams yet. That's
Right.
my main thing.
I just,
That's what I'm not 100% sure of.
am I saying Baker's elite? No. He's average. But
I would say
having
below average.
but having Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rashad White had a breakout game. Those weapons around him, I mean, they're at least going to somewhat compete. I mean, their defense is still okay.
Yep.
Um, but Buccaneers won that one 27-17. Chiefs Jags, kind of a snooze fest of a game. I don't know if I didn't get to watch much of this game. I don't know if it was really good defenses going at it. I mean, I'm not
The
saying
Jags had all the chances in the world. I think they went 0-4 in the red zone.
and I don't even consider either of their defenses like elite. So I just think maybe a bad performance offensively. I mean, Patrick still threw for over 300 yards, but that was kind of a snooze fest. 17-9.
Boring game.
Two powerful offenses should have put more up than 26 total points.
Ever since switching offensive coordinators from Doug Peterson calling the plays to a new OC, the Jags just haven't looked the same as they did last year.
Even when they put up 31 against the Colts week one, I still wasn't overly impressed. I was impressed with Calvin Ridley, but Calvin Ridley was quiet. Zay Jones was non-existent. Oh, he did get hurt. I thought I saw that, but I thought he came back in. But neither here or there.
Kirk had a massive game.
Yes, he did. I heard that Chris Jones had a good game.
He's
just a difference maker,
I was
man.
wrong. Yeah, he's that good.
But snooze fest. Looking forward to the next game. I'm not quite sure we'll come to it who they each play, but both teams are 1-1 now, so at least they're 500. Packers versus Falcons, an upsetting game if you were a gambling person on Sunday.
I should have just taken the Packers spread. It got to 3 at game time, and I'm a moron and took their money line.
I mean, I had their money line too. It was a nibble, but I had it paired with the Colts money line. But
it should have. I mean, they should have won. They
Packers blew it late in the game, fourth quarter. You got to. I mean, if you're gonna win a division,
12.
you got to be able to close it out.
Up 12, you have to win those games.
I mean, you're playing Desmond Ridder and Kyle Pitts, who doesn't even play football anymore. Drake London and Mac Hollins, apparently. I mean, other than Bijan and Tyler, I kind of was thrown off. Is it Algier or Algier? Algier? Okay.
Tyler Algier.
I've seen a lot of pronunciation on that one. But, yeah, their sole purpose is they're going to run the ball, and they're not going to stop running the ball. They could be down 20. I think they're still going to run the football. But does hurt losing Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones is there. It's a whole nother ball game.
And 2 offensive linemen.
Correct. Did Bakhtiari not play?
Did not play.
Yeah, that doesn't help at all.
Nope.
But
that hurt me.
Jordan Love still looked impressive to me.
He looked okay. Yeah, he had some misses, but you can't expect him to be 100% in his second real start.
They got Jaden Reed involved, the rookie.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that kid.
He looks promising for them. Moving on, we got Raiders Bills, bounce back game for the Bills. Everyone saw this one coming.
Yeah, nothing to talk about here. The Raiders suck. Bills looked good.
Devontae Adams gets concussed, but is already back to practicing. Meanwhile, my quarterback you don't hear much about. So, Titans Chargers. Talk about the Chargers a little more later, but just another blown game. I mean,
there's really nothing else you could say.
I think we can all point the finger and we'd all be correct on whose fault this probably is.
If Brandon Staley was fired tomorrow, I would not be shocked.
Right. I mean, they have the talent on defense and offense to be elite. And they're just, when it comes down to the fourth quarter, they just disappear. They fold.
They spent so much money and they can't get anything going.
Right. I mean, the Titans, there's just no way that the Titans should win that game. Keenan Allen, though, great game.
He looked awesome.
Yeah, but hopefully he stays healthy, because if he stays healthy, it's going to be insane with him and Herbert. Eckler needs to get back. Another player that definitely probably changed the outcome of this game.
Agree.
49ers versus the Rams easily was a 10-point game. McVay ruined a lot of people's money, but
Or a lot of people are thinking McVay.
right, 30-23. 49ers do what they do. They went out there and they set the tone early. Christian McCaffrey, another great game. Debo Samuel had a good game. Did Brandon Ayuk come back in the game, or did he leave?
Left. I don't think he came back. He didn't do too much. They didn't really need him to, though.
I mean, the ground game was working.
Yeah, I mean they're just better.
Would like to point out Puka Nakua, 25 catches in 2 weeks. I mean, where is this coming from?
I don't know, but this dude is a legit.
Tutu Atwell, the same.
Also, cannot believe it. Wait until Cooper Kupp back.
I was going to say, Cooper Kupp comes back, are they going to be elite?
Is he a system wide receiver?
Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
No, I think he's just great. Kyron Williams, breakout.
That dude's a dog. We called it last year.
I had him, and I was like,
I know.
Man, do I drop him for because Miles Sanders is bound to get hurt? Do I just drop him and pick up Hubbard? Should not have done that. Because now I'm without Barkley and possibly Aaron Jones next week. So, great.
Yeah, that's tough.
But, yeah, 49ers, they went out and did their thing. Giants Cardinals, a roller coaster of emotions. They were down 20-0, I believe, at one point in the game. I had the Giants money line. I threw in the towel. Next thing you know, I saw they scored 7. I was like, all right, they finally
woke up from my nap.
They finally got a touchdown. I mean, it took them over 6 quarters to score a touchdown, score a point to be fair. But they came back. I believe, did someone say that Dable took over play calling?
I don't know. I actually wasn't sure of that.
I saw something on social media that says Brian Dable takes over play calling and they drop 31 points in the second half.
I wouldn't be shocked, but I can't say for certain.
This is 2 weeks in a row I want to say that the Cardinals have given me a sweat. I mean, the Commanders barely beat them, and the Giants barely beat them. I mean, the Cardinals, you're tanking. Tank. Don't play with my emotions. But Giants win 31-28. They lose Barkley in the process. Not good for them. But this really will show us who Danny Dimes really is. You don't have a crutch in Barkley to rely on anymore. You have to go make plays.
It really hurts. I'm not going to lie.
Jets, Cowboys. Jets 10, Cowboys 30. Awful game. We know what we know. Jets are doomed. They're just cursed franchise at this point. Wilson's just... I don't even know if he can hold a clipboard in the NFL after this.
I don't think anybody re-signs him.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no chance. What has he shown you? Nothing. His poise in post-game conferences when he's like, man, I thought I was seeing the ball great. You had 3 interceptions, dude.
He is legitimately the worst quarterback in the league.
You're going to go down as just known as the MILF Hunter. That's all you're going down as. But Cowboys defense, them and the 49ers, elite. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They might be the best defense. Micah Parsons.
They're the best 2 teams right now.
Dog. Defensive player of the year. I mean,
I told you.
It's locked in. And no one's taken unless he gets hurt. Dak had a good game. Didn't force much, which is good. Like to see him stick to those medium short routes and let his playmakers make plays. You got CD and Pollard for a reason. Let them go out and do their thing.
Yep.
Commanders 35, Broncos 33. What a thriller. Broncos should never have even been in that scenario. Sam Howell might be legit. Might be, well, not legit. I mean, he's a lead.
Broncos defense that bad.
They shouldn't be bad. That's probably what is skewing my belief in Sam Howell right now. But
they did it last week against Jimmy G.
Yeah. Broncos offense
they couldn't get a stop in the second half.
Yeah, I mean,
they couldn't get a stop in the second half, dude.
Debatably, Broncos probably could have took that overtime, blown interference/holding penalty call in the end zone to convert for 2. But I mean, they had to throw up an absolute prayer to God, and Russell Wilson, thankfully, is a man of Christ, and it worked. So Broncos, though, unfortunately fall to 0-2. I think this team does look 20 times better than they did last year. I think they still have a chance to be a competitive football team. Looks like Peyton's in the right direction with them, so that's good. Dolphins 24, Patriots 17. Patriots finding their ways to be in games late and cannot convert or capitalize on their opportunities. Big old O lineman. Do you think he got it?
Yeah.
You
I
do?
just don't know how you. I just don't know how you overturn that.
I don't see how
It-
you overturn a spot.
They did it earlier. They didn't overturn it earlier in the game, and it was pretty much equivalent to what happened there. That was my main reason for like I don't get it.
Yeah. Don't know how to feel about the Patriots offense. I think Patriots defense is great. Um, Still not going to be sold on Mac Jones.
Defense is good. Offense, lack of weapons.
Till Mac Jones goes out there and throws me 300 yards and 3 tutties, I'm going to be out on him.
Yeah, I agree.
Another possible snooze fest, Saints-Panthers, defense galore. Saints, we're going to talk about them here in a second. They just need to find a way to put 6 up on the board instead of 3.
Yup.
Their defense is going to end up getting. They're gonna shoot themselves in the foot. That's all I gotta say.
The defense is nice.
Right, and it's old, and it's still nice.
Dennis Allen, man, that guy's a dog.
Browns, Steelers. Talk about a snooze fest for the offensive side of the ball, but defense was fun to watch. Watt and Highsmith absolutely doing their thing for the Steelers. Pretty sure Highsmith had the touchdown, the first one.
He did, and then he forced the fumble for the second one.
And then Watt scored the second one, yeah. I mean, when your defense putting up more points than your offense.
Bucket.
But
Cooking.
Browns, I'm get slowly more and more out on Deshaun Watson. I think he's quite about to be a bum. I mean, he can't. He does nothing. He looks slow. That's what he looks.
I think he's done.
I mean, this dude just did not care about the offseason to take advantage of doing something.
It's just hard once you. I mean, he's away from football for 2 months. Right. Not easy to pick that up.
I know, but I feel like your attributes should still be somewhat there. I mean, this guy doesn't even look close to the same thing. Even showing glimpses of the same quarterback that he once was.
He's running well. He just can't throw the ball. He's not hitting the windows.
I mean, this dude's picking up 2 face mask calls as a quarterback.
Have one of them where he should have. They should have called it on third down or like second and long on the goal line. Dude destroyed his face mask. Did not call it, which I thought was hilarious.
Before we move on, I do want to say, did you see his post-game conference?
No.
They were talking about how it looked like he shoved the ref after one of the altercations with, I forget which player it was now. He threw the player into the ground. He got penalized, and they were talking shit back and forth, and the ref got in the way, and it looks like he shoved the ref, and he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's like, I really don't know. I think me and the ref were just talking. It's like, all right, man.
No, I did not see that.
But that's it for the week 2. I thought all around great set of games. I mean, that was the first time I was able to ever use NFL Sunday. I was watching 5 games at once. I mean, how great is that?
The best.
But we'll move on here to the rest of the stuff we got planned for today. Like last week, we're going to start off with Saints recap and headed into week 3 here. It's like we said, Saints defeat the Panthers 20-17. Derek Carr 21 of 36, 228 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. Followed by a somewhat impressive game for Bryce Young, 22 of 33, 153, 1 touchdown, no turnovers. How you feel?
The defense is awesome. I'm really worried about Carr, as we'll talk about later, but I'm really worried about what he's going to do. I have a feeling there's going to be games where we're going to look and see how in the hell did they lose, and it's because the Saints couldn't put up 120 points.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm pissed that they didn't cover. Bryce Young had a garbage time touchdown. I mean, the defense is like, we're fine, we're up 10, and just let them walk, or we're up 11, and then they get the 2-point conversion to cut it to 3. And I was just like, there's legitimately no way. There's just no way.
Is the Saints line bad?
Offensive line?
Or is he holding the ball too long?
It's a mixture of both. Derek Carr is notorious for taking sacks, but the Saints spending 3 first-round picks and a second-round pick on their offensive line since 2017, I believe. There's 3 first-rounders and a second-rounder on their offensive line. And
because he's getting hit a lot.
They have not been impressive. That is for sure. But I'm really excited about the defense. I think they have good skill guys. Mike Thomas looks healthy. As long as he can be our safety blanket. Olave looks like a legit number 1. And Rashid Shaheed might be the number 3. Like, I'm actually really
sold on
excited
him.
about him. Yeah, I'm
I
actually
like his
really
speed.
excited.
It's great for wide receiver 3 to have the speed that he has.
He adds a different dimension to the offense.
Taysom Hill, I mean,
Had a great game.
you hate him, but he ran the ball well.
I'm usually down on him, but that dude had a great game. I'll give him his credit.
I will say,
had a great game.
Love Dennis Allen. There's this clip of Michael Thomas trying to say that he's hurt, and him just absolutely ripping Michael Thomas, basically to go get your ass back on the field.
I did see that.
Kind of shows maybe what you guys were suffering the past 2 years. Michael Thomas was just not wanting to play football. I don't know.
We'll see.
Because this guy's slant boy is still good. He still has it.
He's getting open. I mean, he is definitely getting open.
That's all I mean, you have Olave. All you need him to do is go down, get in the middle, or settle in a spot in the middle, catch the ball, fall down.
He's elite at getting open in the zone.
That's all you need him to do. You got Olave to get behind the secondary.
Yep.
And you have Rashid Shaheed to get behind the secondary. I still like Juwan Johnson. I wish he was
solid.
More involved.
I mean, he's a solid safety blanket. I think he's solid.
I think this team, I'm interested to see how they function with Kamara back. I think it's gonna be really good, really fun to watch. They don't run the ball as much as they used to run the ball with Peyton, and now the Broncos don't run the ball as much as they did when Peyton was with the Saints.
That could be a weaker offensive line problem, and with the Broncos, it's like I don't think he likes Samaje Perine.
Yeah. Maybe Perine was just really good with the Bengals. I don't know. We were both high on him after the season that he had.
I liked him, but literally nothing has happened for him.
Yeah, but back on the that game, that was just what you said about the defense. If I'm the defense, how many weeks until you start getting pissed off at Derek Carr?
I think as long as they're winning, they don't care.
Yeah, winning is gonna hide a lot of flaws with that team if they keep winning.
That's how I am about it.
But if they can, I mean, they move the ball well, and then they just mental
He's
errors.
An awful red zone quarterback.
Yeah,
He's
that too.
Awful red zone quarterback.
But I think you guys will be fine. Maybe he just needs another week to figure it out, because he has the ability to be great for you guys.
I think we're fine.
But we'll move on. You guys play the Packers week 3 on the road at Lambeau.
2-point dogs.
2-point dogs, over under 43.5.
I do like the under in that game.
Yeah. 2 good defenses, and 2 Jordan Love unknown, and then Carr unknown. I'm going to say unknown for right now.
Yes, I would agree.
But I think this is going to be a great game. I think this will be fun to watch, but also boring to watch at the same time.
I agree.
I'm interested to see I don't know if it would be a real test for the Saints with Aaron Jones if he comes back, because he's more of that receiving back. They still use Dylan for the handoffs more than they should use Dylan. But I think the Saints they can win this game handedly, in my opinion.
It'll just come down to how well Carr plays.
If your D-line can get to Love, I think you guys will be fine.
Agree.
Get some pressure on him early, get him frantic. Because did Dobbs even have a game like he did the week 1?
No.
Is Watson back?
Potentially. Hamstring was what his injury was last week.
So theoretically, he only has Dobbs and Jaden Reed, and then maybe Aaron Jones and Musgrave. But Musgrave, I think you guys will be fine.
Tight end. Didn't have a great week last week.
But I'm excited to watch that game. That'd be one of the ones on the screen for sure. But is there anything else you want to say about that game?
No, sir.
All right, we'll move on to the my favorite team, the Indianapolis Colts. Defeated the Texans, get the first win of the season. Felt good, 31-20. Richardson leaves the game early. Was 6 for 10 for 56, 3 rushing attempts for 35 yards and 2 touchdowns. Was on pace to have probably a fantastic, great game. Stroud, on the other hand, looked very impressive. I don't know if that was more of the garbage time, the classic cover two Colts, sag off, give them whatever they want. We're up by 20 points or whatever we were up by at the point. But he did go 30 for 47, 384, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. This game, very sad to see Richardson get hurt a second straight week. I can't afford this. My mental health can't afford this anymore. It was funny, though. He did hit his head hard on that one touchdown.
Yeah, he hit it hard.
I will say 2 things off that play. One, run to the end zone. Run through the end zone. Why even taunt that guy? He looks like he was taunting him. And then just gets pummeled, hits his head, and then proceeds to do some backflip somersault off the ground. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's legit. And the next thing you know, people are making fun of him for throwing the ball left-handed. And then he's out of the game, and Gardner Minshew comes in, seals the deal. He looked like a great game manager, like we expect from a backup quarterback. He was able to go into there and control the offense.
He looked good. He looked really good.
Zach Moss made me question who the hell Jonathan Taylor was. I mean, it's not putting up Jonathan Taylor stats, but he ran for over 4 yards per carry.
It's weird how good their defense,
all of a sudden,
their offense looked comparatively to the Ravens, who didn't look great against the Texans, but then looked great against the Bengals.
Right. This defense is fun to watch again. We're getting to the quarterback. Kenny Moore looks like he wants to be there. So, I mean, it's all good things pointing up. I mean, I'm not saying we're making the playoffs. I'm not saying we're going to win 10 games or 9 games or 8 games, but we will win 7. But I think
you just want that over.
I think we're in a good spot. Tough matchup coming up next week with the Baltimore Ravens on the road. 8-point dogs, 44 over under. This is going to be, in my opinion, I told you earlier, I think this is going to be a great game. If the Colts defense plays
awesome last weekend,
the Colts defense plays like they have been playing, it's gonna be a great game. Little skeptical on who the hell is gonna, because Leonard looks like he's lost some speed. So interesting to see how we're gonna deal with Lamar. I think we'll just do what we did that one year with Carson Wentz when we should have won. Play contain on him. Don't even try to run at him. Let him run right into you, basically. But if Richardson doesn't play,
he's thrown the ball well with a legit. I mean, like, he's got legit weapons now. So
yeah, is OBJ playing on pace to play? Maybe
I haven't seen anything.
Not saying that's a huge difference maker.
But Zay Flowers.
I like Zay Flowers. Yep,
he might be that guy.
And Mark Andrews continues to be the guy.
Yep.
Running backs are scarce, so it helps a little bit. Allows you to key in on more on Lamar Jackson rather than debate on if it's going to be a handoff or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not so I don't think the line's going to move much if Richardson plays or doesn't play. So I think Gardner can at least make it competitive. I think Gardner can cover. How about that?
It'll be a point movement at most likely half a point if Richardson out. It's already down to 7.5, at least what I saw this morning.
Oh, is it down?
I saw it this morning down.
So it makes sense if it went down a little bit. But kind of weird that it would go down considering Richardson did not practice today. So
I know.
But that's Colts game. So we'll move on to the Bengals. Ravens defeat the Bengals 27-24, as we mentioned earlier. I don't know what to think. I'm more mad at the Bengals for Rush and Burrow back. That's what I think the whole root problem is of this team. I mean, people were fearing at one point that he ruptured his Achilles or whatever, and then next thing you know, he's playing week 1. He's rushed back out there. Did not practice much for training camp, and we're just no preseason. Just throw him on out there. And then we're looking at Andrew Luck, in my opinion, how the team is just going to dwindle this kid's career, and it's going to be heartbreaking for him.
I think he's going to be fine. I think it was just a bad game.
But he did say they re-aggravated it. To what extent, I don't know. So that's why I was trying to get to as in, like, he should never been playing in the beginning at all anyways. But for as bad as he's been playing, for them to keep it within 3 against the Ravens is impressive. I know 7 of those points came off a punt return for a touchdown, but we saw it last year. People were worried last year about the team as in general, how they started 0-2 and then they turned the Jets on.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying there's a little bit of panic, but like a 2 on the level of 10.
People think Burrow's contract year is up, gets paid. He's gonna be shit. He's not gonna be shit. This kid's good.
That kid's a dog.
He's legit.
He's a dog.
Oh, I don't. Who do they play next week? Do you know off the top of your noggin?
The Ravens?
Yeah. No, the Bengals.
Oh, the Rams. Monday Night Football.
Could be a possible great bounce back for him. Defense has to show up though. But I would like to see. I don't know if they'll play him or not. I don't. Have they said anything?
No.
Okay. So if he plays, I'm hoping that's a good bounce back game. Not asking for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, all to Jamar Chase, quote unquote, fantasy football team. But I think they should get back in the win column this week. So hopefully we don't see an Andrew Luck where we're just gonna keep throwing him out there. The stat I saw one day was he's the most hit quarterback in like the past like 3 years or whatever, and which is weird. They keep upgrading the offensive line, and he just keeps getting hit more. I don't know.
Jedrick Willis, or no, he's the Browns. Who is the kid they drafted out of Alabama? Jonah Williams?
Yes.
Yeah, he's just not good.
Yeah, they shouldn't. I don't know why they got rid of Collins. I don't know what happened with that one. They were all up in arms about him getting him last year. He gets hurt. Jonah did come in the late into this season and did play well. Now, he's not playing well. I just fear for this kid. It's like watching. It's like watching Andrew Luck just getting pelted and pelted and pelted. But we'll move on to Brandon Staley, our guy.
Deserves to be fired.
If you could see my screen, it's a picture of Brandon Staley with flames all around him. That
is exactly where our guy should be.
Titans, like we said
John
earlier,
Payton.
Defeated Chargers 27-24. They've lost 3 straight games while ahead going into the fourth quarter.
Which is so wild.
That's including the Jacksonville Jaguars game, that's a whole nother thing. I mean, losing 3 straight games while going into the fourth quarter is one thing, but blowing that game is a whole other spectrum.
Disgusting.
So my question it's obvious. Is Brandon Staley on his way out? Say he loses this game. They play the Vikings. They lose to Kirk Cousins. Is he out after week 4?
I think he should be.
I don't think he's shown you anything. I think Kellen Moore is shown more in his 2 weeks than he has shown in his time in Los Angeles.
I think that's why they hired Kellen Moore, is to bring him in for that reason in case he gets fired.
Wasn't Staley like a defensive genius, or am I?
Yeah, defensive genius.
You're giving up 27 points to Ryan Tannehill and company.
I know.
You're losing week 1. Granted, it's to the Dolphins' high-powered offense, but they should never lost that game. You have talent on the defense all the way around. I don't know how much Mac affects a game anymore like he used to.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't heard his name since he got traded.
Good.
Bosa, superior talent. Derwin James, J.C. Jackson, you spent a boatload of money on, and you just can't stop anybody, it seems like.
They can't stop anybody.
I mean, Herbert's playing well. He's putting you in the chances to win. I mean, gosh, this team just is so aggravating to watch. I mean, it's like we're watching the Phillip Rivers Chargers. I mean, they just can't win. They have the team to win, and they just can't do it. But I think
he gets fired before the season ends.
Oh, yeah, probably before their bye week.
You're probably right.
Whatever that is, but yeah, I mean, he's on borrowed time. His seat couldn't be hotter. We'll move on to Chiefs, Jaguars. I mean, we kind of touched on it. I mean, I was just going to ask you, because I figured you were watching this game, if it was just a great defensive play. I mean, like we said, Patrick Mahomes, 29-41, 305, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Lawrence, though, 22 of 41, 216 with no touchdowns, no interceptions.
I didn't get to watch the game, but from what I heard people say is that the new offense from the new OC is just not good. They don't like the way the guy calls the offense for Trevor Lawrence. He's making bad reads. I just don't think they're ready yet.
I think
But
you just went to the divisional game last season with
why would you
with
switch it up?
Peterson doing your offense. Why switch? It
I
seemed like
agree.
Trevor Lawrence has never been more comfortable, and then you switch it up on him.
It's got to be because Peterson wants more time to just focus on the team.
Yeah, you need to focus on putting up more than 9 points. When you're holding the Chiefs to 17, you got to figure out how to go put up 18.
You ain't wrong.
I mean, Chiefs looks like if you were telling me the Chiefs won a game or only scored 17 points, I'm telling you they lost.
I would probably agree with you. The Chiefs defense though kind of looks legit.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that. I mean, Ladarius Sneed plays well. That one, it's like the slot corner. What's his name? Duffy. He plays hard.
Oh, McDuffie, Trent
Yeah.
Duffy, or Trent Duffy from Washington.
And then I like Nick Bolton. And then they got Chris Jones back. I mean, it's solid defense.
It's a solid core. Like I mean, they nailed their draft pick last year. That's for sure.
But I was expecting more from Travis Kelce. I think maybe they keyed in on him, or maybe he's not 100%, but he still was able to score a touchdown. So Sky Moore scored a touchdown. Kadarius Toney caught all his targets. I mean, let that soak in.
What is it? What was it? 2 of 2?
I think it was 5 of 5.
Hey,
3 of 3.
Not bad.
Something like that.
Better than I expected.
Yeah, just like for 35 yards. Maybe it was just dink ears. But yeah, I saw the score of the game and I just threw it up here. I was like, maybe he saw it and we'll just talk about it. But
yeah, I didn't get to see too much of it.
But we'll move on to this is the wrong one. But this is we'll talk about the week 3. That's all I had for the week 2. Week 3, moving on. We'll do the same thing we've been doing, where we just go through game by game, predict no odds.
How'd we do last week?
Oh man, I forgot the. I feel like we did pretty good.
I thought we did well too, but I can't remember.
Oh man, I'll have to look.
You can just have it prepared for next week.
Yeah. But
we'll have it prepared. We'll get
I
an
feel like
update.
we couldn't
We'll
miss
get an updated record.
We definitely missed on the Packers.
And we missed on the Pats because I remember we took the Pats.
Yeah, because we were going with all favorites, and you're like, we gotta mix it up.
We had to mix it up.
But we'll just do this one, and I'll look at last week's. But
yeah, we'll just do 2 weeks combined.
Alrighty, let's see here. Let's see, Giants 49ers Thursday night football. This game grosses me out.
Niners.
Yeah, Niners. Probably cover. It's a high cover though, but
especially on a Thursday night where those games are ugly, but I agree. I think they cover.
Let's see here. We got Falcons Lions. This one's hard to predict, in my opinion.
I would like to say Lions.
Me too. I think now they did lose Gardner Johnson.
Their defense wasn't that great to begin with. I think as long as their offense can move the ball, they'll be fine.
Which they have shown that.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that against.
If it comes down to a shootout, which it sounds like if it was going to be a shootout, I have to say the Lions are winning, so I'm going to go with the Lions.
All right, I like it.
Jared Goff threw his first interception last week. And like, how many passes? Something ridiculous.
It was like 330 or something stupid.
Yeah. Chargers, Vikings. I mean, fuck. You want to say the Chargers, but who knows? They might be up 14 points going in the fourth quarter and lose.
Yeah, if you want me to be 100% honest, the only one I would say is the Chargers. I just can't ride Kirk Cousins against them.
Right. I mean, the Vikings offense looks good.
It does, but their defense can't stop me.
No, I know.
I could throw for 250 out there.
When you know run plays coming in the NFL and you can't stop it, that means you're just getting absolutely dominated. You're getting throttled.
Getting twerked on. Yep.
Saints, Packers. I'm going to ride your team.
I would agree.
If I was a betting man, the line, they're underdogs. It's something I'd nibble on.
I agree. I like it.
Texans, Jaguars. People are talking about the Texans have a chance here. I don't see how. I just don't think they have the weapons this year to go out and compete with playoff teams. I do like Nico Collins though. I think they need another guy. Tank Dell plays pretty well.
I like Nico. I hope John Mechie can come back to
Same.
wherever he was, but yeah, I'm just gonna stick with the Jags and
Same.
ride them.
Yep. Broncos Dolphins. This could be a good game. Could be.
I have a feeling the Dolphins are gonna cook. It's gonna be in Miami, isn't it? In Miami, first home game.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill's going for 250.
Yeah. Patrick Surtain, buckle your seatbelt because you're getting dragged.
Yep, getting fucking torched.
Titans Browns. This could be an all-out shit fest of a game.
Personally, I'd like to say the Titans.
I can't argue it, but
It's your pod, so I'm gonna ride with whatever you want to choose. But I would like to say the Titans.
think about this. No Nick Chubb.
No Jack Conklin. They're still starting DeJuan Jones at right tackle.
Shout out Ben
PD
Davis.
legend.
Yeah.
PD legend,
Shout
baby.
him out.
We ride with Indianapolis.
I mean, this is a game that definitely the Titans can win for sure. It all is
That's
going to
my
boil
main
down
point.
to if Tannehill can take care of the football.
Yep.
So he took care of the football last week. Look, they won. So I mean, we'll just go with the Titans. I don't know what the line is. We'll see it here in a second.
It's +2.
Computer's bugging.
It's Titans +2.
So we'll do the Titans.
I like it.
All right. Bills, Commanders.
I say Bills.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is where the Commanders' magic just goes bye-bye.
I agree completely. I think the Bills are just significantly better.
Colts, Ravens. Unfortunately, can't. When I'm predicting this, I can't pick my Colts, but it's not a Sunday unless you bet on the Colts.
You can take their spread. We're just not picking their money line.
Says you. Patriots, Jets.
Pats.
Yeah, gonna be a snooze fest.
He's gonna be seeing ghosts.
It's going to be a snooze fest unless the Patriots get like 6 pick sixes.
I'm hoping for that.
You have their defense or something?
No, I don't like Zach Wilson, and I want them to trade for somebody who's good for Garrett Wilson.
Panthers, Seahawks.
I say the Seahawks.
Yeah.
They looked good last week. And did you see Bryce Young may not play?
I did not see that.
He did not participate in walkthroughs today. Practice. Ankle injury.
Wow. That's wild.
I know.
When did that even happen?
It must have happened on one of the sacks last night where he just got rolled up on.
Pretty easily predictable game here. Chiefs, Bears.
Chiefs.
Yep. Not even close.
Next one's Cowboys, probably.
Yep, Cowboys, Cardinals.
Let's just go ahead and we can just skip that one too. Go Cowboys.
Cowboys. I mean, that shouldn't even be close. Steelers, Raiders.
I mean, I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with the Steelers, and I think I would pick them to win. I think that defense is unstoppable.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it, but I don't think it makes a difference. It does look like Adams will be playing, so.
I just think their defense is too good when they play against shitty offenses. And I wouldn't say the Raiders have a great offensive line.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs, quiet season so far.
I didn't expect him to have the numbers he had last year.
Eagles, Buccaneers. This is the game we see Baker die.
The Eagles are already only down to 4-point favorites. I don't know if anybody's hurt, but that kind of worries me. But I would prefer to say the Eagles win the game.
Bengals, Rams. Bengals bounce back?
I think so. I can't imagine them going 0-3. But if Burrow doesn't play, do we count it as a Rams money line?
I don't even know
stipulation.
Yeah,
it's Jake Browning.
Yeah, well, yeah. If unless Jake Browning's got some pizzazz in him, I guess. But
I would not say he does.
Their Bengals defense is kind of worrisome. So yeah, if Burrow doesn't play, I think Stafford can win this game. He's been electric throwing the football this year so far. So
he looks good.
I don't think
he looks
Browning
awesome.
or whatever you said is going to be able to keep pace with that.
You're not wrong.
So,
Trust me.
yep, there's 2 different fonts on the screen. So, enjoy. Just real.
Enjoy.
Let's see here. Now we'll move on to our 4 most what we're eager to watch players. Let's see here. For the first one, I picked. I know you're not gonna like it. Deshaun Watson.
Not a fan of him.
I mean, we're not fans of him, but the reason I put him up here is solely because he no longer has that crutch. This is where you find out what he has left in the tank. There's no Nick Chubb. It's solely on him. Can he go out and produce? He has an okay matchup
so.
with the Titans. So
I think the Titans have a good defense.
They
I
do
don't
have
think
a
he's
good
going to be able to do it.
So, I mean, the Browns are about to find out this week.
They're stuck with him.
Did we get screwed?
Yeah.
And the answer most likely is going to be yes, but
what you get for making a deal with the devil.
And this is this is why this game is why I'm interested to see how Watson plays this week. So, yours is Russ Wilson.
This man deserves to be benched. There's not much more to say. He had a good first half based on all the scripted plays. And then after those scripted plays, he was dog shit. And they blew a 21-3 lead. They were inside Washington's territory. He throws an interception. Entire game changes. I can't forgive him because I had money on the Broncos. Didn't have a lot, but would have been nice to see the win. He's just trash. He's not the same. I would like to see Jarrett Stidham in there. Justice for Sean Payton.
Justice for Sean Payton. Tank for Caleb Williams.
Man. He needs it. They don't even have their first round pick.
Oh yeah. Duh. They gave it.
Fuck.
He fleeced him.
Yup.
My next one, Danny Dimes. Same reason I did Watson. I mean, unfortunately, this is going to be a game. Well, they haven't ruled Barkley out yet. He's out. There's no way he should even play, even if he can. If he's 75%, you don't play him. I would say this is a game we get to also find out was he worth the money, but unfortunately, he does have to go up against the 49ers on Thursday Night Football on short notice without his best offensive weapon. So I pray for this man.
We all do. That man's going to need it. He's going to need those prayers.
He's going to be.
Dude.
Darren Waller is going to be his only option. Even though Jalen Hyatt did show some explosion plays, but they're not going to have time to get rid of the football. So start running right now. Daniel Jones will give you a head start.
He's going to need more than that
head
start.
Like I said, the reason I put him in here is your best offensive weapon, which is a running back, Saquon Barkley, which is where your offense as a team should not be invested solely into a running back, but he's not here, so you get to watch and see what Daniel Jones can produce without him. So, and then
I'm excited to watch this game.
You're excited?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see what Daniel Dimes looks like.
Right. I mean, it's gonna be an ass thumping in my opinion, but
I have a feeling they'll get killed too. But at least we can see Thursday night games are always wonky, man. They're always wonky.
And then your last one was the man, the myth, the legend, Derek Carr.
I talked about him a bit earlier when we were talking about the Saints recap as well as they're looking forward. We gave him a lot of money, which is what worries me. But I mean, if he has another half like he did in the first half, I mean, that interception he threw was just brutal. Triple coverage, lofts it, puts 0 zip on the ball. It's a goddamn punt. I was like, what is he fucking
that was
seeing?
Bad. Yeah.
Like, what is he seeing?
Cannon,
and
though.
Then, yeah. Motherfucker. If he plays that bad again, I want to see Jameis. I'm team.
You're not
seeing
Jameis unless he gets hurt. I'm just gonna.
I'm
be
team
honest.
famous Jameis. I know you're right, but I'm team famous Jameis.
You pay this guy this money, he's gonna play.
I know, but dude, he's just oh my god, he's so
beginning of the year.
Infuriating.
I made a hot take about how much better is he than Andy Dalton.
He's better. Don't get me wrong. Andy Dalton's not making either of those 2 throws to Rashid.
Andy Dalton's also not even on a team right now.
No, he's back up for the Panthers.
That's right. I apologize. I did see him
Dude,
on the sideline.
They have to bring him in because Bryce Young's too small.
That's not good.
No.
With the
not
most
good.
overpowered play in the NFL, you have to bring in a backup quarterback to do it.
Hey, don't hate on Jacoby Brissett.
Granted,
That's
when
a
Andrew
skill.
Luck did come back from his injury, we did have Jacoby Brissett throwing the deep balls.
Jacoby Brisket was doing it last year for the Browns.
Is he on a team? Yeah, he's on a
He's
team.
the backup for the Commanders.
Yeah, that's right. So Carson Wentz is the only one that I think should still be on a team.
He's just a toxic locker room guy. People don't like him.
But he's better than Zach Wilson.
Marginally.
Marginally?
I don't think, dude, Wentz was not good last year.
Yeah. I thought he was okay with the Colts. Better than Matt Ryan.
I would say they were pretty equal.
No.
Dude, he was not that good.
Matt Ryan
There's a
went,
reason
like,
they traded
games.
him for 2 third-round picks.
That's true. I think that was just a lot of the fan base basically grabbing Ballard by the nutsack and was like, you trade this man. You trade him now.
Which he should have.
But, yeah, those are our players to watch this week. All quarterbacks for the first time. And they're all quarterbacks that have a big question mark on their head.
Last week?
I know one of mine was Chris Jones.
We'll need to keep track of that. Did I have George Pickens, or was that 2 weeks ago when I had George
Pickens?
Week
1, you had George Pickens. Last week, you had Rashid Shaheed.
All right, he made a big play. I fuck with it again. Let's go, Rashid.
We will have to start keeping track of that.
We'll have to start keeping track of these.
We'll start off with the offense players of the week. Start at wide receiver 1, Keenan Allen. I mean,
baller.
Not much you can say. He had an incredible game.
Shame they lost.
It looked like that's the only person Herbert had confidence throwing to the ball to, especially late. I just want to pull up his stats real quick and just rattle them off because they were insane. He had
8 for 112 or something like that, 2 touchdowns.
He had 8 for 111 and 2 touchdowns off the knock. Can you just rattle that number off?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's far and above this. I guess I can't say he was the only one that he had confidence in. Mike Williams had 8 catches, 83 yards.
It just didn't seem like a big game from him because Keenan was making the big plays.
Yeah, and he had 2 touchdowns. We'll move on to the offensive line making their second appearance on the players of the week. The Eagles line.
Not shocked. The best line in football right now.
I mean, I already said it earlier. When the other team knows you run the ball, you can get 6 yards of carry, and you can help DeAndre Swift, who only saw 1 touch the week prior, get what he had. I mean, you deserve to be on here for the second straight week.
I'll never forgive you. AJ Brown, you got fucked. You should have yelled at Jalen Hurts. He needed to give you 12 more yards. Get to that 40.
Yeah, I had him on fantasy, but I wasn't.
That DK boost. Bastards.
Tight end. Another one from this game. We have 3 people from the Thursday night game. The Eagles line was 1. Now we move on to TJ Hawkinson for a tight end.
It's the only reasonable goal. It's the only reasonable answer. What was he? Probably one of the 3 tight ends who had double-digit points.
Kelsey was up there.
And
Hawkinson,
Andrews, right? Because he caught a touchdown.
And Andrews. TJ had 7 catches for 66 yards for 2 touchdowns. Pretty solid game.
He had a night.
Move on to wide receiver 2. Bounce back game for him. T. Higgins.
Massive game.
12 targets, 8 catches, 89 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Similar stats to Mike Williams, but he was able to put in those 2 touchdowns. Glad to see Higgins back. Big bounce back game for him.
I am too. He's a fun player to watch. That man, you never realize it, like just watching the replays, but he is a big dude. I mean, he's like weird. 6'5".
Not to be weird, but he has a great smile. I'm looking at it right now, and that's all I can notice right now is he has a great smile.
Nothing wrong with that.
I was starting to think Burrow just was looking for 85 out there and couldn't find him. And it was like, he's number 5 now. But
he's the big motherfucker.
Moving on to quarterback, making his first appearance. It might be his only appearance. Daniel Jones.
You're probably right on that one.
26 of 37, 321, 2 passing touchdowns, but ran for 59 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he did all that in basically 1 half. I mean, if he could put 2 halves together, granted it's the Cardinals, I mean, maybe he was worth the money. But you could have put a couple different people up here, but decided to go with someone that we're probably never going to see again. Daniel Jones, welcome.
I think it's fun. I think he deserves it. He had a great game, a
Sam
great
Howell
comeback.
had a good game. Gino had a good game. Who else had a good game?
I mean, Goff didn't have necessarily a bad game.
Allen had a good game,
Herbert also necessarily didn't have a bad game.
but could put Gardner Minshew up there. I mean,
Hey, you know what's up, baby.
but last position for the offense, running back, DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, it's kind of undeniable.
For
What was it, 175 yards, something stupid like that?
only 175 yards on 28 carries, averaging 6.3 yards per carry with a touchdown. Could have easily had two more touchdowns.
Hey, no. Jalen Hurts, QB sneak, God.
Yeah, the tush push. I mean, honestly, they call it the tush push, but he doesn't get touched much.
Well, he's just got 500-pound squatting legs.
I was gonna say, the dude squats 600. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just pushing himself in there at this point.
But yeah, DeAndre Swift to do what he did. I mean, he was their offense. I mean, not saying that Jalen Hurts couldn't have gone out there and put up good numbers, but for him to come in to replace Gainwell after only having one carry, do what he did. I mean, that's the Swift that we all thought we were getting out of college. So
I agree.
He looked great.
He looked awesome.
Move on to defensive side here. Defensive line, I mean, you can probably guess who I put up on here. No question about it.
Let's hear it.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yup.
I mean, Highsmith and Watt, I mean, those guys look like a tandem duo, probably the best in the league. Highsmith had a touchdown. J.J. Watt had a touchdown. Highsmith had a forced fumble. But, yeah, that's they're on the D-line. Cornerback was, let's see here. For the Seahawks, it was, sorry, I should have written this down. This guy, Trey Brown. Corbin's like, who? Yeah. He had 4 total tackles, but he did have an interception and he did have a touchdown for them. 2 pass deflections, so big important part for them. They also we'll just jump here while I still have the stats pulled up for this game. Our safety was Julian Love. He had 13 total tackles.
Oh shit, Julian Love plays for them?
Yep. 13.
Isn't that the kid from Utah? Notre Dame.
But 13 total tackles. I mean, based off tackles there, he deserves to be there. Moving on to the other cornerback position, Ladarius Sneed for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
He had, his stats were the following. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, 7 tackles, 1 for a loss, and 2 pass deflections.
Solid outing.
Yeah, he had a good year last year. Did not have a good week 1. Wait, did he even play week 1? But
yeah, he played week 1.
Yeah, I was just saying, he's kind of quiet and comes back and performs the way he did. Stopping Trevor Lawrence. Our linebackers for the Packers was number 1, and his name goes by Quay Walker, I believe it was his. Yeah, Quay Walker. He had 17 total tackles.
Oh my God.
And 1 pass deflect. We call him Zaire Franklin Jr.
That dude, my Lord. Give him an extension now, Green Bay.
And rounding out the defense player of the week is the linebacker slot. For the Raiders, it was, I've never heard of this guy. You might have. His name was Robert Spillane. Ring a bell?
Is he white?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know who it is. I can't think of where he used to play, though.
He had 14 total tackles and 1 sack. So.
The Steelers, that's where he used to play.
That's what I thought.
I knew who he was. Yeah.
But
that's how I knew who he was.
In a 38-10 ass whooping, he put up 14 tackles, probably because all they did was run at the end. Good job for Robert Spillane.
Right.
Good job for Robert Spillane.
Good job. This is probably going to be your only time out here.
And that's going to do it. No, it's not. We got our predictions real quick.
Oh, our FanDuel things or whatever.
Costing, right?
Is that what's next?
Yeah. it by real quick, just what we like for plays and not our play locks, but what we like going forward because it is only Wednesday. A couple more days, shit should hit the fan. Some
Again,
shit
we
could
need to
hit.
start keeping track of the ones we say on here too to see what our records are.
We should.
I'm pretty sure we had some props that we both hit last week.
I'll crunch the numbers.
Sounds cool.
All right, so we'll start off. I'm not really taking anything for Thursday night game. I might just watch. I might not watch. But I don't even think there'd be a prop that I like because I'll end up betting CMC and they'll give it to Elijah Mitchell more.
He's like minus 265 to score a touchdown, dude. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Tennessee, Titans, Browns. If we base it off our predictions, Titans at plus 140 could be a good nibble.
I agree.
Or even the plus 3. I don't see the Browns just opening up the whole offensive playbook and beating them by a touchdown.
I don't see a can of whoop ass getting opened.
Nope. Chargers, Vikings. I did mention I like the over in this game. Don't think there's going to be a whole lot of defense. 53.5 is a lot.
53 is a lot, but I agree. I think it's the right play.
I don't want to bet a team to win in this game, so if I had to pick, I'd probably pick the over. Jets, Patriots. Patriots, good parlay team here at minus 148.
I wouldn't do their spread because I'm worried about how low scoring that game is going to be. But
right. So you mentioned I think you like the under of that game.
Yeah, but 37 is
it's low.
But
yeah, the Patriots minus 148. Parlay them with something. Might have something cooking. Not touching the Jacksonville Texans game. Maybe a Stroud prop. Maybe depending on what they are.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would do with that is put it in a teaser leg.
Right, you could put them in a teaser leg. We'll just do a teaser here at the end. And then the Bills Commanders.
Same thing there. 6.5 is a lot, but
just another
I don't
teaser
see the Commanders
potential.
Covering it, yeah, how I am with it.
The Colts Ravens.
I hate to say it, but the exact same thing.
Yeah, another teaser team.
Not a great week for the spread.
The spread is 7.5 for the Colts. And then the Falcons Lions. I don't really want to touch this game at all.
The only thing I would take is the over.
Right. I mean, that game it could go so many other different directions. Saints Packers. I think
I like the Saints +2, and I like the under in that game.
I also like plus 108. I love plus.
I understand the plus, but that's what gets us in the ass. It happened on Sunday.
Yes, it did. Denver Broncos, Miami Dolphins.
Only thing I would take in that game is the over.
48.5. Yeah, I think the Dolphins are going to put up at least 30.
Yeah, that's my main reason. I think they'll score 30 minimum.
Teaser team minus 6.5.
Yep, with the Seahawks right next.
Yep, Seahawks are next, minus 6. Especially if no Bryce Young, you might want to hit it now.
It'll probably be a 4-team tease or a 3-team tease, maybe 2 3-team teases, and lock in probably the Jags as the lockstep for that.
You might be able to get away with the Chiefs and another teaser, but it is 12.5.
That's a big tease. Same with the Cowboys. I wanted to, but I can't justify teasing them down to 6.5.
But Cowboys, I don't even think I can hit the over on that game. 43. It seems low, but
Cowboys are gonna have to score 40 of them.
Yeah, just like they did week 1.
Yep.
Steelers, Raiders. Steelers are underdogs.
I like the Raiders.
In this one.
I mean, that's what I meant. I like the Steelers +2.5 here.
Yeah, plus 124 to win. So
under prime time, usually lock.
And then the last game of the week, Eagles, Buccaneers.
2 games.
I'll have to wait.
There's 2 Monday night games.
Oh, there is 2. We just talked about it. The Eagles, I'll have to keep an eye on.
-4.5.
I have to keep an eye on this, make sure no one's hurt.
Yeah, as of now, I like the -4.5, but that's without all the information.
The last one, Bengals, Rams, Burrow
depending. I'd say -2.5.
Yeah, Burrow
pending. Yeah. If not, it's a stay away.
But yeah, and then we'll round up today's talk with a little teaser. Just our best teaser possible.
My favorite teaser would
Dolphins.
be, at least for me, Dolphins.
Yep.
Seahawks.
Yep.
Probably Jags.
Okay.
I would do Jags or the Bills.
Or the Ravens, who you said.
Yeah, well, the Ravens are going to be in there, but like as my 3-team lock.
this one.
It-
Tease it. We'll do a what?
My only worry with the Jags is like, do the Texans just have that cheap touchdown potential?
Yeah,
in
do
them?
they have that cover mentality?
Yeah.
And you could knock it down to 8.5 for -110. It's not even worth it at that point.
Yeah, I think you know what I think. I think it's right. I think that's the right leg. 3's a key number in the NFL. It's the right play.
So you're saying keep it at 2.5
Yep. Jags,
at plus
Dolphins,
140. It cranks
6-point tees.
it to the Dolphins at -0.5, Seahawks at 0, and Jacksonville at 2.5.
We do a 7-point tees. It's plus 120, but I like the 6-point tees.
Yep. All right. Well, we conclude to another video. This one was a little wonky on my end. I mean, computer crashing, not a good look.
It happens.
So then you lose all your overlays. So
Hey, you know what? You gotta make do. You gotta make do.
yeah. So I appreciate another week for you coming on and talking football.
Of course, brother.
All right, brother.
Let's win some money.
Oh yeah. I'm hot. I'm hot.
Let's win some money.
Yeah, that's gonna do it. We'll do another one same time next week.
Sounds good.
Show ya.